One day, in a sunny clearing deep in the forest, three very different birds lived close to one another. The hawk, with his sharp and determined eyes, decided to build himself a stone house on top of a hill. He spent days gathering small rocks, choosing each one carefully, stacking them patiently. He wanted a strong home, one that could withstand any storm. The clay bird, hard-working and humble by nature, also decided to build his own home. But unlike the hawk, he didn't use stones. He preferred clay, simple yet firm when well-shaped. Day after day, he flew back and forth, carrying bits of wet earth in his beak, and little by little, he built a round, cozy home made with love and effort. Meanwhile, the toucan, vain, colorful, and a bit lazy, watched from a distance. "Clay? How old-fashioned," he muttered. Still, he tried to imitate the clay bird. He picked up some mud with his beak, tried to mold it, but soon lost his patience. His wings got dirty, the mud slipped through his feathers, and he quickly gave up. "Ah, this isn't for me," he said, wiping his beak in disgust. So he continued living on a high tree branch, thinking he was safe up there. When the clay bird finally finished his little house, the hawk was the first to appear. "Congratulations on your achievement, my friend," he said sincerely. "Thank you," replied the clay bird, smiling. "It's simple, but it's enough for me and my mate." Soon after, the toucan came by, wearing his usual air of superiority. He looked at the clay house, twisted his beak, and mocked, "Good heavens, what an ugly house! A clay house! That's going to melt with the first rain." The clay bird said nothing. He just smiled and continued arranging his nest. But the toucan didn't stop there. He went around the forest spreading gossip. "Have you seen the clay bird's house?" he told the other animals. "Poor thing. Thinks he's some kind of engineer, but that's just a pile of mud. The first storm will knock it down." And he laughed loudly, trying to hide his own failure behind mockery. Time passed, and summer gave way to dark, heavy clouds. The wind began to blow stronger, the leaves rustled, and thunder echoed in the distance. The hawk, protected inside his stone home, watched the dark sky and felt the power of the storm that was coming. The clay bird, inside his small mud house, adjusted the entrance. Carefully built, facing the side where the wind would not blow. He knew what he was doing. Soon the storm unleashed its fury over the forest. The wind roared through the trees, rain poured down with force, and branches snapped in half. The toucan, terrified, tried to hide among the leaves, but the cold rain soaked him completely. "Oh no! I should have built a house!" he cried, struggling to fly through the storm. But it was too late. Lightning struck the tree where he perched, and the floodwaters swept him away far from sight. When the sun finally returned, the forest was covered in broken branches and mud. But the clay bird's house still stood, firm and intact. The hawk came down from his hill and looked in admiration. "You really knew what you were doing, clay bird," he said. The little bird replied humbly, "Not everything that looks weak is weak. Sometimes true strength lies in wisdom and patience." And so the news spread. All the animals saw that the simple work of the clay bird had survived the storm. Meanwhile, the toucan, who had mocked everyone, learned the hard way the value of effort and humility. Life is like that too. When you achieve something through hard work and faith, there will always be those who try to belittle it, not because it's bad, but because they lack the courage to try themselves. Those who build nothing are often the loudest critics. But when the storm comes, and it always comes, only those who built their homes on strong foundations remain standing. Effort, faith, and perseverance. So don't worry about those who laugh at you today. Keep building, even if it's with clay, even if it takes time. Because in the end, when the wind blows, you'll still be standing, and those who mocked you will be carried away by their own arrogance.